Welcome to GMBN Tech, everybody. I'm here at Val di Sole for the next round of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup Cross Country Series. I'm going to be deep diving into the pits to find the sneaky, latest, greatest, and hottest tech. Let's go have a look. I spy with my little eye something beginning with secret prototype frame from BH. Yeah, just behind me in the stand, we've obviously got a new, completely unbranded blank carbon frame with what looks like a similar frame design underneath that sort of shroud there to the sort of the Treks and the Specialized, where the shock is nestled just underneath the top tube. Obviously, I'm just speculating because I can't exactly see it. It is very well hidden, but there's no branding on the frame whatsoever. It is a press fit bottom bracket on the frame, post mount out back. Obviously, it's got some of the Shimano parts already bolted to it. Otherwise, it's just a bare frame at the moment. There's not even any sort of bearings in the linkage there. Travel unknown, design unknown, but we can obviously have a pretty good guess. But interesting things in the BH pits. In fact, actually, I've just spotted a semi-built one in the background, and judging by how far out that seat post is, I'm going to guess it's David Valero, the big tall Spaniards. But we can see, obviously, we got the new Fox 34s on there. It's looking a little bit more complete. So will we see it on the race day? We're at Specialized Factory Racing, where I've got Haley Batten's bike, and data acquisition has made it to the cross-country world, people. We have a data acquisition system on this bike, as well as the RockShox flight attendant system as well. So we are really searching for marginal gains there. Now, this is actually set up on all of the team's bikes. They're using it across the full range of the guys and the girls there to really eke out, well, tenths of a second, because literally that is what it comes down to in cross-country nowadays. Have a look. They've obviously got this stunning colorway going on as well, sort of this crackled turquoise pink forks. Big fan of that. Something else I've noticed, though, this unbranded front tyre from Specialized as well. I mean, apart from just saying Spec on it, it doesn't have what model it is. It doesn't have anything. It's no tread pattern I'm too familiar with, compounds and things as well. So interesting things going on at Specialized. If we're talking about marginal gains, then back at Specialized as well, you can see this custom stem on Sina Fry's bike. Now, Sina Fry is a very small person. She's tiny, so to get kind of any commercially made bar stem combo out there is really tricky. So you can see this super drop, real short, real tidy little CNC stem on the front of Sina's bike. Very tidy. Okay, more shrouded in secrecy goodness here at the Trek Factory Racing pits behind me. We can see two more of their team bikes with shrouds kind of covering the top tube, seat tube junction. Now, their Super Caliber has that shock that we all know is mounted underneath the top tube. This doesn't have any pivots to it, though, that I can see. Inkling that it's kind of more at their Pro Caliber side of things, whereas there's a bit of a soft tail, there's a bit of give in it. Now, they ain't telling me much. They ain't giving anything away. We're not really even allowed to film it up close. This is about as close as I'm allowed to go. But I'm calling fancy new hardtail. We're going to have to wait and see what we got out of them. Behold, tech, maybe not. Hot, yes. The Ineos Grenadiers team truck, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, Tom Pidcock pit out of this. All right, it's not a bike, but look at it. It's got to be one of the pimpest trucks in the pits. Let me know in the comments below, is this one of the most rad trucks you've seen at the races? I think it is. The rain is pouring down here in the pit, so I've sought shelter in the Decathlon Ford team's pit area whilst the mechanics are working away. I've stolen this Greta Seawald's bike, this Rockrider, because I noticed a few sneaky bits and bobs going on it. First up, we've got this sort of brand new FSA, I was going to say bar, flat bar. It's not flat though, it looks like an inverted riser bar. Just get the front end really low to get the rider over the front. It looks like a riser bar that's been flipped upside down, like a 10mm drop to it, maybe a 15mm drop. It's got this raw carbon finish to it. It's not out, I don't think, yet, but it does look pretty cool. Rider's obviously doing anything to get the weight over the front. Also, I noticed on the bars, these new TRP brakes. Information thin on the ground. They wouldn't tell me too much about them, so I'm going to head over to TRP in a little bit to find out a bit more. We've also got this sort of crazy camoed up new Manitou fork. Now, keep your eyes peeled for that, because I have heard it's nearing production, so very close to being out there with their new lockout system on the bar as well. Fancy pants, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then last but not least, this thing's dripping in prototype parts. These are new Hutchinson Python 3s, I think they're called. These are prototype at the moment. You can see Hutchinson Racing Lab on them. We've got a few little notes drawn in on there as to what they are. There's no idea as to what these sort of There's no width on there, there's no pressure on there, there's no kind of idea as to what the sort of tackiness, the compound of the rubber is, but there's also a race version of this, which is even slicker, I noticed on the back of one of the other bikes. Very trick stuff going on over at the Decathlon Ford Racing team. where custom parts are aplenty. The Decathlon team also 3D printed these custom mounts here on the same mounting as where a bottle cage would go. That's pretty simple. It literally looks like a GoPro mount. It's actually just for the GPS for the race. Tidy. So we popped to TRP. Turns out they can't really tell us anything. And the fact that we actually saw them on the Rockrider bike was luck more than anything. But details, yeah, they ain't telling us nothing. Not exactly XC tech, but check out the Trek Fuel EX in the stand behind me. I'm here for the paint job. Big fan of that. I don't even know what you'd call that. Some kind of rainbow unicorn sick, but it does look sick. That's badass. Let's go look for more tech. Outside the Canyon Collective pits, and we've all heard of their KIS system. We've seen it on their trail and their enduro bikes, but I've spotted it on a cross-country bike. Behind me is Luca Schwarzbauer, the big German powerhouse's Canyon XC bike, and I can see on the top there is sort of that control piece, that slider piece of the KIS system. Whether it's exactly the same system as they use in their other bikes, I'm not entirely sure. Same strength, it could be stronger, could be weaker. I'm going to say the big guy, the big German, he's a power man, so I reckon it could be a little bit stronger, but we're not entirely sure. We're going to have to find out on that one. It does look to be fairly factory sort of finished. It doesn't look like it's in the prototype stages. It looks like it is sort of as it should be on any production kind of bike. Will we see it in production in the future? I reckon we might, but we're going to have to wait and see. Interesting. Feels kind of firm. I don't know if it's firmer than what stock setting, but obviously Luca, like we said, is a big guy. Now the KIS system, for those who don't know, is similar to a steering damper. It's essentially two springs that run up either side of the steerer tube and attach around the headset there and essentially give stability to your steering. But people, I've also just noticed, I think there are some prototype Schwalbes going on this bike as well. They look about 2.4 in width and they've got that orange band down the middle, which signifies kind of a race, a really soft compound. If you look on the side of them, there is no name. It's been blacked out. So will we see these come to market soon as well? What's the difference? It does, like I said, look like a brand new tread pattern to me. Sneaky stuff from Schwalbe also. That's a wrap from here in the pits at Val di Sole. What was your favorite piece of sneaky tech that you saw in the video? Let me know in the comments down below. And what would you like to see next time? But for me, for now, I'll see you later.